Hi, friends, and welcome to Peace is Here. I'm your host, Avis Kalfsbeek. This is another episode in the Wolff Peace series, a journey through Robert Paul Wolff's 1966 anthology, Political Man and Social Man. In each episode, we pair a political thinker from Wolff's book with someone who lived peace as a radical daily act. Together, they help us explore the tension between power and principle and what peace truly requires. The thinker, Felix Frankfurter, 1882 to 1965. Today's thinker is Felix Frankfurter, Associate Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court from 1939 to 1962. In Minersville School District versus Gobitis, 1940, Frankfurter upheld a mandatory flag salute law, then penalized Jehovah's Witness children for refusing to pledge allegiance in school, an act they viewed as idolatrous. Writing for the majority, Frankfurter argued that democratic unity sometimes requires painful compromise, even at the cost of individual conscience. He wrote, "National unity is the basis of national security. To deny the legislature the right to select appropriate means for its attainment presents a clear and present danger." Frankfurter believed that constitutional interpretation should defer to legislative will, especially in times of national crisis, but his opinion came at a cost. The ruling sparked a wave of persecution against Jehovah's Witnesses, and just 3 years later it was overturned by the court in West Virginia versus Barnett. The Gobitis case reminds us that legal formalism, even with good intentions, can crush the very freedoms it seeks to protect. Peace Pairing, Sari Nusseibeh, born 1949. To reflect on conscience and resistance, we turn to Sari Nusseibeh, a Palestinian philosopher, professor, and former president of Al-Quds University in Jerusalem. Nusseibeh has spent his life advocating nonviolence under one of the world's most prolonged occupations. Educated at Oxford and Harvard, he returned home to promote a philosophy rooted in dignity, restraint, and coexistence. He once wrote, "Even in the deepest darkness, a glimmer of mutual respect can light the way." Nusseibeh's peace is not rooted in slogans or simplistic calls for unity, but in the courageous refusal to dehumanize. His work calls on Palestinians to resist oppression without hatred and on Israelis to recognize the shared humanity of their neighbors. To Frankfurter, legal harmony sometimes meant the subordination of dissent. To Nusseibeh, dissent is a form of moral harmony, a refusal to become the oppressor. Together they offer a rich contrast, one man in robes deferring to power, the other in exile standing for conscience. Your peace questions to ponder. Big picture. Should national unity ever come at the expense of personal conscience? Day-to-day life. When you're pressured to conform, how do you stay grounded in your values without losing connection to others? That concludes this episode of Peace is Here. You can learn more at aviskalfsbeek.com, where I share updates on this podcast and my books. I write best friend activist short fiction in the Pedro the Water Dog Saves the Planet 6-book series, eco-adventure novellas for readers who care about justice, joy, and saving the world one story at a time. Coming up next, more thinkers, more peace pairings, and more bold questions from the Wolff Peace series. This episode is human narrated by me, but created with the help of AI, which has promised to let me know if it makes something up. So far, no confessions. But if you believe I've missed something, or if you just want to say hello, I'd love to hear from you. Podcast music is Dalai Lama Riding a Bike by Javier Peque Rodriguez. You'll find links to his music on Spotify and Bandcamp in the show notes. If you enjoyed this podcast, it really helps me if you subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. A quick rating or review helps others discover peaceful, independent storytelling. And if you have a project that can use a calm, peaceful narrator, my cloned voice, Amaya Calm, is now available in the 11 Labs Voice Library. AMAYA Calm. The voice is designed to support storytelling that promotes peace and dignity. You can even have a Maya Calm read to you using the 11 Labs Reader app. She sounds like this. Peace is not something you wish for. It's something you make, something you do, something you are, and something you give away. John Lennon. If you haven't used 11 Labs yet, it helps me if you use the link in the show notes below. The link is try.11labs.io/peace, and 11 Labs is spelled out. I'll earn a small affiliate payment which supports my creative projects focused on peace. I'm Avis Kalfsbeek. Thank you again. Until next time, listen for the peace.